description below. Download the app. We're going to be reviewing the game via the app, looking at some of the stats from that game, checking out the league tables as well. But you can give us a call. You can give us your opinion on 0203 606 0315. I want to hear your opinions. Chelsea fans, Watford fans and neutrals alike. Chelsea just took an absolute spanking. You can't call it anything else other than a spanking. And I'll let you into a little stat. At the 75th minute, Chelsea had touched the ball just 5 times. 5 times in Watford's box. 5 times. This takes Chelsea's game. Now, the last 6 games, Chelsea have just picked up 8 points. And they've conceded 7 goals in their last 2 games. Things were poor before this, but they are falling apart massively. 8 points from your last 6 games, and you are defending champions. You're bored with trying to sign Peter Crouch and Andy Carroll. You ended up with an Arsenal reject in Olivier Giroud. A good player, but nowhere near the standard that Chelsea and your fans have become accustomed to over the last 15 years. You're now getting spanked by Watford away from home. Spanked by Bournemouth at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League. I want your views and your opinions. The lines are now open. We'll review the game together. 0203 606 0135. And a little side note, depending on what platform you're watching on, whether you're watching on the Ultimate Football Fan, 100% Chelsea, That's Football, or my channel, The Football Terrace, please hit that like button. If you're on Facebook, do the same thing as well. Hit the share button as well. The more viewers, the more opinions, the more callers, the better. We want to debate this. Chelsea are in absolute turmoil. And I want to know what you're thinking about it. The lines are now open. Give us a call. I'm going to check out some of the comments that are coming through here on... wow. I'm going to check out some of the comments that are coming through here on YouTube as we're speaking. Just Conte out everywhere. That is all I can see is Conte. Actually, the stream isn't working on the Football Terrace. I'm going to go and check if it's working elsewhere at this moment in time. I believe it is. Oh, yes, it is. It's working over here in 100% Chelsea. We'll get it up on the Football Terrace if we can in a wee moment. What are we saying here? Wow. Chelsea fan here says Conte can't change his team. What do you mean he can't change his team? Chelsea Football Club have the best academy in the country. Only Manchester City spend more money than you. You should have a squad that can cope with ease with the amount of football you have. The question is, why do you not? That's what we want to know. Baka and Cahill should be sold. Brown Danny says Bakayoko is absolutely shocking. I changed the language on it because I couldn't read that out. Even on YouTube, I couldn't read his language out there. Bring in Sarri or Enrique. Chelsea fans just want more players. Are more players going to solve this? Are they really going to solve it? Is it just better players that are needed? Or does a manager need to be backed? Does a manager need to be backed at this football club for once? I want to have that debate with you all now. 0203 606 0315. Chelsea fan on the way through to me as well. Can we get the Football Terrace working as well, please? I want to get the comments from there. Fantastic. Let's check out That's Football as well. I want to see what's going on over at That's Football. Mr. Mark Goldbridge putting his channel up for us this evening, which is great. A number of people watching on there as well. I'm waiting for this call to come through. It hasn't come through yet, so we'll carry on. 4-1, how more can you get battered? Well, that's the point. Losing 3-0 at home and then 4-1 away is a great comment there. Can't believe my eyes is what a lot of fans are saying over at That's Football. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
My name's Arjun.
Arjun, how are you?
I'm alright, mate, but after that performance, I don't know anymore.
What do you mean you don't know? What's going through your mind?
It was an absolute disaster, that performance. From start to finish, it was a disaster. Bakayoko in the midfield, what was he doing? He did nothing for the first half. You know what? That was representative of his entire career so far at Chelsea. He just done nothing so far. Why he warranted a start, I don't know. What are we playing Bakayoko for? He did nothing. You tell me right now, what's he done since he started? Because I can't tell you, mate. I don't know why he's playing.
The best thing he's done since he's been involved with Chelsea is his little transfer day fiascos on Twitter. That's the most entertaining thing he's done.
There we go. He's done nothing. And you know what, mate? That entire team, they need to look at themselves in the mirror. Because I'll tell you something, right? I don't know if Conte is going to last this week. You know what? That's what everyone's been saying. And to be honest, after that performance, history dictates that Conte probably won't stay out of the job. You know what that performance reminds me of? It reminds me of Leicester 3 years ago, right? Mourinho's last game. That's what it reminds me of. Carbon copy. No fight, nothing.
Let me ask you this question.
Weak in front of goal. I remember we maybe had what two proper chances. The one that Hazard scored and Fabregas's one. That was a half chance. That's all we created. Watford, credit to them, mate. They bossed us. They bossed us. You know who looked like the team at the bottom half of the table? It was us. Watford looked like the team that was fighting for the top four, not us. And you know what? We can't really complain about the result. It's 4-1. 4-1. You know, it flatters them. Flatters us. Sorry.
No, I understand that completely. Let me ask you this question. You drew back comparisons to Jose's last game against Leicester, and I agree with you. At the time, Jose received the criticism. Conte is now getting criticism. For me, as a neutral, looking at your club, what's happening to Conte has happened to pretty much every single manager under the Roman Abramovich era. It comes to a point where I start to think, is this just what happens at Chelsea with the way things are run behind the scenes, with player power, with you'll have a summer where you'll invest brilliantly, and then 12 months, 18 months later, you're trying to get bargain bucket signings. I mean, literally, you know what's happened to Conte and Jose are mirror images of each other. As a Chelsea fan, you have seen these managers win you titles, win you trophies, give you some great moments. Do you feel sorry for Conte in this instance and blame the board, or is it fundamentally all down to the manager?
You know what? I'm hurting for Conte. Conte, credit to him, he gave me one of the best seasons I've ever had as a Chelsea fan last year, and I'm going to stick by him. I don't think it's Conte's fault. Do you know whose fault it is? I blame the board and I blame the players. That's whose fault it is. The board, you know what? The last 10, 15 years, I think Conte is unfortunate enough to be manager at our club whilst they're the most unambitious. That's what I think. Right now, we're the most unambitious we've been in the past 15 years. 15 years ago, right, we were linked with superstars. We were linked with Kaka. We were linked with players like that. We didn't get them, but we were linked with them. We were in the conversation. Now we're looking at Olivier Giroud. He might be a decent player, but we should have been in the conversation with Sanchez. No one even gave us a chance for Sanchez. Why are we not linked with players like these? These are the players we need to improve our club. You know, the ambition has just skyrocketed. It's gone down. Mate, last year, we won the title. That was an absolute miracle. And I think, you know what, Conte, he deserves 90% of the credit there because no one gave us a chance. I didn't give us a chance. I didn't think we were going to win the league. Conte had basically the same amount of players Mourinho had the season before. He brought in Kante. That was his main acquisition, right? And he changed that team from mediocrity, from an average team to title winners. I think that was Conte. Conte deserves all the praise he can get from that season. I think that season warrants him to see out this season, get more players in, get the players he wants in, and have another chance next year. I think Conte needs to have more backing from the board to get his own players. He said last week that it's quality over quantity, and I think that's right. We spent something like 250 million over the course of this summer, right? But if you look at the players, how many of those players do you reckon Conte wanted? Like, I can't name too many, mate.
I don't think many at all.
In the summer, we back Conte. Conte needs more of a say over the players we sign. If you look at the structure, right, we've got Abramovich, Bruce Buck, and Maria Granoscovi. I can't really pronounce the name, but they're head of recruitment, right? They're bringing the players in. Conte has got a limited say on who comes in. If Conte had a say, he'd be right. We need to get Alexandro. We need to get Alexis Sanchez. We need to get Arthur Vidal. He'd be looking at those type of players. No disrespect, but I don't think he'll be looking at players like Olivier Giroud and Ross Barkley. They may be decent players, but do you think he would have sought them in the window, or Palmeria or Zappacosta? I don't think these are the type of players Conte wanted.
Let me
so I'm not going to blame Conte. I'm not going to blame Conte. The players need to have a hard look at themselves from this game, mate. The players need to have a hard look because it was toothless. It was the worst we've seen. Well, since Wednesday, really, since Bournemouth. Jesus Christ! Listen,
no, I totally
get mugged off as fans.
I totally understand. What I would pose is this point as well about the underinvestment. You win the title last year. Look at the point swing between how far Man United were behind you last season to now being 6 points behind them now. Look how far Man City were behind you last season to then being nearly 20 odd points in front of you now, or maybe 17 points in front of you now. That for me is that underinvestment. None of the players you bought in the summer would have got anywhere near a classic Chelsea team in the last 10 years. And none of the players that you bought, would get in the Man United team. They wouldn't get into the City team. I don't even think some of them would even get into the Spurs team.
Ross Barkley or, fucking God knows who else would have got in ahead of likes of Ashley Cole, Frank Lampard, Petr Cech, Didier Drogba. I don't think Olivier Giroud would have gotten a look in over the likes of Didier Drogba, Nicolas Anelka, and God knows who else.
No, mate,
we had a top side, and we just haven't been consistent enough in the window.
Totally agree with you, mate. Look, we've got more calls waiting to come through. Very passionate and articulate words there. Really do appreciate you calling in.
All right, cheers, mate.
Thank you. He needed to get that off his chest, and you know what? I cannot disagree with a single word that was said there. Chelsea fans listening, neutrals, if you agree with our last caller about what's going on at the club, the manager needs to be backed. Chelsea, are they losing ambition? Are they losing ambition in the transfer windows? Danny Drinkwater, Bakayoko, signing their 4th choice striker, not going in for Alexis Sanchez. These are all valid points being raised by Chelsea fans themselves. We're ready for more calls. Put the call straight through. We're ready in here to go. We'll do another call, then we're going to review the OneFootball app. Just shocking display. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
It's Paddy, mate. I called it half-time.
Hello, Paddy. Wow, what a second half display. Let's just talk Watford for a second here. I know you're a neutral. How brilliant were they in that second half?
Oh, mate, they were absolutely flabbergasting. They were absolutely... Counter-attacking football's amazing. Deulofeu, however you want to call it.
Deulofeu.
Great. Yeah, that's it. Great, to be honest. That goal was absolutely amazing. I'm not sure if it took a deflection of Cahill, but it was still going in, I'll say. It was perfectly placed.
And what about Janmaat's goal? I mean, that's a fullback playing intricate 1-2 and ripping open the champions of England's defence just after they go and equalise with a wonderful goal from Hazard. I mean, it didn't look like Watford. It looked like City but in those few moments, it was like a City or a Barcelona team playing. They were absolutely rampant. But with all due respect to Watford, their first win in 6 games, is this just more a testament that something fundamentally wrong is going on at Chelsea right now? First Bournemouth, now Watford.
I think as soon as Bakayoko got that red card, I think that was game over for Chelsea, to be honest.
But they were playing poor before then as well, weren't they?
Yeah, but I think that really showed the weak spots, and then Watford just played on that. I think they've got to get rid of Conte if they want to get top 4 finish. I think if they don't get rid of him, they'll start falling down the table rapidly.
Yep.
But the thing is, who do you appoint? And Luis Enrique, I think he's still out of a job, so you could appoint him, but then interim manager maybe. I've heard Gus Hiddink is interested again.
Would that be his third? That would be his third sort of stint at the club, would it not?
Yeah, it would be his third spell at the club.
As a gooner, though, we know you're an Arsenal fan calling in. So Chelsea fans, you guys have got to come and have your say. We've got Arsenal fans phoning up. Are you quite enjoying seeing what's going on at Chelsea right now?
I am and I'm not, because in a Premier League sense, in a competitive way, I'm not. But as an Arsenal fan, I'm enjoying it because it gives us more of a chance to get into top 4.
Well, it does. Do you know what we'll do? We'll get sort of the tech team now just to put up the OneFootball app on the screen while we've got you on the phone. I've got the league table up right now. So you're 5 points behind Chelsea now. And with all due respect, I think most Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans included, when they saw Bournemouth at home and then Watford away, would have been looking at a minimum 4 points, if not 6. So that's given
it's a definite 6.
So it's there we go, and it's given everybody an opportunity to get in front of them. Man United have been able to pull away from them in second place. 6 points clear now they are of getting into that second place position. I mean, remember they're 19 points behind the champions. 19 points behind the champions. The point swing from last year to this. I mean, I know there's been some really poor league defences in the last few years. Leicester being the worst last year. Chelsea, obviously, the season before that with Jose Mourinho right down the pecking order. But there seems to be an issue in English football right now as well. The team that, since 2013, the team that wins the league, the following season, they are just awful.
Yeah. I'd say there could be a competitive and maybe a contrasting opinion next season if see how Man City do, and that'd be very interesting because, of course, they're going to run over the league. But I'd like to see how they play next season, if they play any different, and how Man City board and the directors approach that. I think Man United probably do have second now, and it's really top four finishing who can get the Champions League spots. I'd say we've now got to focus on Europa League because I think that's our only real. If we lose to Tottenham, we've got to go for the Europa League.
Yeah.
I hope we don't, and I don't think we will lose to Tottenham. But
no, yeah, I do appreciate that, mate. Look, we really appreciate your call, Paddy, mate. We're going to get some of these Chelsea fans on the line now. I think they really need to air their grievances. But thank you very much for calling, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, thank you. It's interesting, though, he mentions Chelsea there. So, City, sorry. So, City, obviously, well in front of the top of the league. But, you know, over the last 10 games in the league, they're pretty much on par with what Man United and Liverpool and Spurs have produced in points. So, over the course of the season, they're still well in front of everybody. But in the last 10 games, it's been pretty even between all of those clubs. So already you've seen a slight dip in that superiority that Man City have got. People have worked them out a little bit, which is why when we go into next season, if they don't invest, they could be pulled back. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Marcel.
Marcel, how you doing? You a Chelsea fan?
Yeah.
You sound depressed, mate. What's going on in your mind right now? I mean, you've got awful players in midfield making terrible mistakes. Bakayoko poor on the ball, getting sent off. Defensively, you were all over the place. You're getting beat by Bournemouth and then conceding 4 goals against Watford. What's going on at your football club?
Honestly, I just think it's the way the manager set up the team. Because I don't understand why you've got Giroud on the bench and he's playing Hazard in the number 9 position. And then he's starting Bakayoko, who hasn't been very good recently.
Yep.
It's all over the place right now.
I understand that. So we had a Chelsea fan on before that's completely and utterly supporting Conte, thinks that the Bulls' lack of investment, not improving the squad, has created a lot of the issues here. But do you still think Conte has a good enough squad to be much closer to Manchester City and a squad that's too good to be getting beat 3-0 by Bournemouth and 4-1 by Watford?
Ooh, not quite sure about that one.
Well, you must know who you support. Are you behind the manager 100%, or are you thinking that he's finished at Chelsea now?
I think he's just put that negativity from the transfer centre into the team. He's just frustrated that he hasn't got any players.
There are reports today in some of the press, and obviously you take with a pinch of salt what you read, but I think it's worth reading it and creating your own opinion. But there are some that believe within Chelsea that Conte allowed his spat with Jose Mourinho to affect him mentally, and it actually changed his persona and his attitude at the club. Because ever since they got into those war of words, he had a go at Jose, and then Jose brought in sort of the match fixing. Ever since then, Chelsea have barely been able to kick a ball. They've struggled to score goals. They've started to hemorrhage goals at the back. Do you think that we saw it many, many years in the Premier League, Sir Alex Ferguson able to dismantle managers like Kevin Keegan and Rafa Benitez with mind games? Do you think that could possibly have happened to Conte in this instance?
Well, I think if he was such a good manager, he shouldn't let that kind of stuff get to him. That's another team. He shouldn't let it affect Chelsea.
No, I think he's a good manager, but in terms of him as a human being, you never quite... Look, I think mind games get spoken about a lot, but we've seen in the Premier League over the years, many a manager have a rant, regret it, and their team go backwards massively. As I mentioned, Keegan and Rafa Benitez in the past. But if you look at your form since the turn of 2018, you've been performing like a relegation team.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I'm just confused as to why we've had such a dip this season, since the beginning of the year, especially.
We had a caller at half-time say that he wants Roman Abramovich out of your football club. Where do you stand with your loyalty towards your owner?
Well, I think he does have a big part to play, especially since Conte's been complaining about the transfer recently. But I think that the manager should have a say over who brings in the players because he's actually going to be working with them. So I think he should have a big say in who comes in and who leaves.
No, I understand that. Listen, really do appreciate your call. Obviously, sorry that your team got beat tonight, but so we'll have you on again soon, mate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. It's Chelsea fans, just like the previous caller there, some of them just feel to me to be caught between a rock and a hard place. They don't want to attack Conte, but do they want to bite the hand that feeds them? Roman Abramovich has pumped billions of pounds into this football club. More is now coming in to build them a new stadium. Do they turn on him? Do they turn on that man in defence of their manager? Or do they have Gus Hiddink come in? Do they bring back Ancelotti? Do they bring in a new up-and-coming manager? One of the Jay in the FanPark here was saying that he would, Marco Silva, maybe a young up-and-coming manager. This merry-go-round of managers at Chelsea always brings success in the short term, but I think we'll be here again if that happens. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Tyler.
Hello, Tyler. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, had better days, not going to lie.
You're a Chelsea fan, I believe, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So from your point of view, are you behind Conte or do you want him out of your club?
See, I was having this conversation with a few friends before the game started, and I didn't want, obviously, after the Bournemouth game, you had loads of speculation of him leaving, and I really didn't want him to go because I think it'd be injustice to let him leave after the season he had last year. But after today's performance, it's just as much as it was difficult because we only had 10 men. Bakayoko, it's just frustrating, but you can't blame, in my opinion, blame all of that on the manager. He's not the one playing. He's not the one losing the ball, and it's frustrating because I don't want to, as you said earlier, I don't want to attack him, but you've got to question that some of that's got to go down to him.
Of course, the tactical decisions are going to be down to him, how they're training. Defensively, it's the same group as last year. In terms of personnel on the pitch, the Diego Costa situation and Matic, I don't think you can blame him maybe for the Costa situation. Their relationship broke down. Matic he wanted to keep and the club decided to sell him. But on the whole, the investment wasn't good enough. And I think that you brought some decent players. But as I said earlier, if you look at the quality that Liverpool brought in, if you look at the quality Man United and Manchester City brought into their club, although Chelsea spent big money, there was nowhere near that level of player coming in. There was no Morata maybe, but he's been on a bit of a poor run of late. And like I said, Morata was a good player when he was linked with Man United. And I'm not going to hypocrisise myself and change my mind, but why weren't Chelsea in for Alexis Sanchez? Why ain't Chelsea? Why didn't Chelsea go for Riyad Mahrez? I mean, there are such quality players out there in the Premier League that they could have gone after. I mean, the Chelsea team 5 years ago, maybe not even 3 years ago, 5 years, 10 years ago, it would have gone to Liverpool. It would have gone to Tottenham. It would have gone to those two teams, especially in the Premier League, and gone, right, who's your best midfielder? Right, bang, there's 60, 70 million pound. I'm having your player. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's the right thing to do always. You've got this academy at your football club that is just underutilised.
Oh yeah, the academy on our team. I just don't get what's going. There's got to be something going on back there behind the scenes that we obviously don't know about because there's young players coming through like who is it? Chalobah, who's now at Watford. Yeah, Ake, who's now at Bournemouth, and this young player. I'm not sure if you've seen him play. Hudson-Odoi. He's come in. He's looked like the only one in the past few games that wanted to play for the team. And even today, the thing that surprised me most is when Giroud came on. Yeah, he's not the greatest signing of all. He'll do for now, and he's a good quality player. I'm not going to slate him, but he was the only one that wanted to play. That seemed like he wanted to play for the manager, play for the team, and he's just come from one of our biggest rivals. So I don't get what's going on. And with the transfers as well, when we're spending 40 million on Bakayoko, and I think Morata's a brilliant player. He's, as you said, he's going for a really bad stint at the moment, and it's a shame because he's had such a good start to the season. But it's just, you wonder whether it's Abramovich saying he doesn't want to spend all this money when he's the one that, in my opinion, started with all the big spending, came to Chelsea, bought all these players, just put money straight into the team. It's just frustrating to see compared to what we were last season to what we were tonight and the other day, it's just frustrating to see how much we've fallen apart. And again, I'm not sure whether that's the manager, whether that's behind the board, whether that's the players themselves. But as a Chelsea fan, it's just so frustrating.
No, mate, I understand it entirely. Really do appreciate your call here at FanPark Live.
Yeah.
And we'll speak to you again soon, mate. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Remember, we are...
How's it going, UFF? It's your boy Jay. It's full time here at Vicarage Road, where it has actually finished 4-1 to Watford. A result they are...
Give your views and opinions. You can send us in videos as well. There is a Dropbox link in the description below. You know, we're not just going to give you like certain radio stations sort of 30 seconds to ring up and speak. We'll let you vent. We'll let you give your opinions. You can ask questions of us as well. Doesn't matter who you support or where you're calling from. 0203 606 0315. We have a video ready for you now. Who's it from, Jay?
J-Sync.
It's from J-Sync. We're going to put this video on for you now. Enjoy it, and I'll be back with you in a few short moments.
How's it going, UFF? It's your boy Jay. It's full time here at Vicarage Road, where it has actually finished 4-1 to Watford. A result they 100% deserved. Chelsea were just a deflated team at the moment, and it really showed. Obviously, the red card was the killer for the team. It really obviously deflated us even more than we were before the game. But there's just no confidence, no drive, no passion. There's not a single player in this team at the moment that doesn't want to play for the team, play for Conte. And Conte could be leaving now. Honestly, he genuinely could be leaving, because I think not that it's the change that's needed, but I feel like that's the only change that the powers above feel like they have, and that's the only change the powers above are going to feel like that's only going to get this team moving again. If someone new with a different dynamic, a different idea, just something that could get the Chelsea back that we all know well. And I really don't want to see it happen, but it's a game that Watford deserve. Every single goal that they scored, it was far deserved. The penalty, I don't know, maybe they didn't deserve the penalty. I haven't seen the replay. I don't know if it was a dive or not, but the penalty happened, it stood, they scored it, and that's all that mattered. Hazard, obviously best player for us, but obviously it was not a good performance for him. You know, it really was just putting himself in the shot window. And yeah, anyways. That has been it. This has been your boy Jay, and I'll see you next time.
The longest outro I've ever seen. Obviously, I wait for the train to go past there. Appreciate the video coming in. If you're sitting at home, though, you fancy getting yourself onto YouTube, onto Facebook, across these multiple platforms, as I say, there is a Dropbox link in the description below. Going to go to the OneFootball app again. We're going to get that put back up on the screen for us. Going to review some of the statistics from this game, as ever. I mean, an eventful game as well. For a neutral like myself watching, it was enthralling. It's great to see a smaller side, with all due respect to Watford, attacking the way they did. You see those 2 yellow cards from Bakayoko in 5 minutes there. The Troy Deeney penalty that goes in. Bookings galore, which means there's some great tackles and some bad ones, but we all know as fans that heats the game up. Hazard, though, look at the last 10 minutes of football. Hazard equalises on 82. And then Yanmat, Deulofeu and Pereira score 3 goals in like 6.5, 7 minutes. Absolutely phenomenal. But if we look at the stats, I mean, look at that from Watford. Now, I know they were playing 10 men, but let's not get away from the fact that Chelsea are champions of England. 21 attempts on Chelsea's goal, 8 of them on target, is phenomenal. And in the opening 25 minutes, 30 minutes before that red card, they had chances. Chelsea was still being sloppy then. This wasn't a case of Chelsea were playing brilliantly, had a man sent off, and Watford took over. Watford started the game like a freight train, and they didn't stop. Of course, the sending off helped. But that's part and parcel of football. You know, if you make stupid mistakes, that's going to happen. So if you look at that 4 goals, 21 shots, look at it defensively as well. Chelsea had to complete 20 clearances compared to 11 from Watford. And the stat that was pointed out massively to me, Chelsea only touched the ball in Watford's box 9 times. That is abysmal. I don't even care if you're down to 10 men. You're Chelsea Football Club. You have Hazard, one of the best players in the world, in your team. Cesc Fabregas, Kante in the middle. And on that, why have people started calling Kante Conte recently? Commentators, fans, it's Kante. It's spelt with a K and an A. not a C and an O. But I just thought I'd point it out because it really frustrated me with the commentary. But yeah, an absolutely dominant display. And we'll go back to the league table as well, which I think is important. You see that Watford in 11th were being dragged towards that relegation fight. They're only 6 points clear as it is. But that win comes at a very well-needed moment. Their first win in 6 games. They've had a number of draws, but a lot of defeats recently. Marco Silva's left under a bit of a cloud. And Watford will be hoping to get back to some of that brilliant football we saw in the early stages of the season, when a lot of us thought they might be another one of those shock teams that we've had recently pushing for a European place, a Europa League place, maybe not a Champions League place, but they were utterly brilliant earlier on in the campaign. They really were. The lines are still open though, ladies and gentlemen. 0203 606 0315. Going to go to some of the comments on here. Hazard is the leader of the player power, in my opinion. I would cash in on him straight away. Do any Chelsea fans feel like that about Hazard? Do you really believe he's... I mean, but he only took over from John Terry and the like that also used to dominate that. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Izzadin and I'm a Man City fan.
Hello, Izzadin. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you very much. How are you, Terry?
I'm doing very well. I really enjoyed that game of football. I'm a little confused about what's going on at Chelsea right now. What's your take on it?
The whole game, full time, it was abysmal for Chelsea. It was one of the biggest frustrations I've ever seen.
That's a big statement.
Yeah, not just because Bakayoko got sent off with the second yellow, but I just don't know what on earth happened there for Chelsea.
I am going to keep you on the line. A comment's come through on 100% Chelsea I've got to read. I'm not going to use the swear word, but it says, how can you enjoy this? See you next Tuesday. I'm not a Chelsea fan, so I watched this completely and utterly as a neutral when it was an exceedingly entertaining game. But I'll go back to yourself there on the line. Who would you hold accountable for the problems that are going on right now? Is it the manager? Is it the board? Or is it a combination of everything at the club's going wrong right now?
Well, honestly, that is really a tough question to answer. I mean, I would probably say the board, because for Conte, I feel sorry for Antonio Conte right now. I mean, in my opinion, he's one of the great managers in Europe. Let's put it that way. Even though last season, he helped Chelsea win the Premier League.
I agree with you. I think he is. I think he's a phenomenal manager. You don't win the Premier League at a canter the way he did with Chelsea if you're not a good manager. So
that's right.
If you were to... I know you don't have any inside information, but if you were to put your hand on your heart and honestly say what you think has gone wrong this year, where would you point the problems? What problems would you point at, I mean?
I would probably say, in my opinion, the board and their transfer policy.
Do you mean that they've not bought good enough players?
I mean, they have bought some good players, but they didn't do enough to get more players as they needed.
No, I understand that. I mean, last year, your boys, Manchester City, finished well behind them. You're now 19 points in front of them. Is that just a case of, as you say, they didn't invest, they didn't grow their squad further, and then Man City, obviously, you guys went out and spent £140 million on new fullbacks. Chelsea don't have as much money as you, but they've still got a multi-billion pound owner who has pumped in so much money in the past. Do you think there's a risk that Abramovich is now reluctant to keep investing these huge sums of money that Chelsea have become accustomed with?
I probably guess so.
And do you worry about do you worry about that as a Manchester City fan as well? Do you ever wonder to yourself what would happen if Sheikh Mansour decided that he wasn't going to invest, and instead of going after Bernardo Silva, Mendy and Riyad Mahrez, you started going after Andy Carroll and Peter Crouch?
Yeah, honestly, I'd probably say world-class players, not players like Crouch or Carroll, because they're not even the same level as players like Mendy, Danilo, De Bruyne, or even Aguero.
Of course
but
they're not.
There is a difference, for players in different clubs. Unlike Chelsea, not just because of the transfer, but with Man City, they're having so many injury crises. you know, Mendy injured, Jesus injured, and now Sane injured after that foul from Benham in the FA Cup.
Yeah, I understand that, but with your money and your academy system, there should be... There isn't a problem at your club. I mean, you've got an endless supply of resources, an endless supply of money.
Of course.
So, you know, these things, but that's the point. You have to have these big squads because you will get injuries, you will get suspensions, you will have problems that occur over the course of the season. I think with Chelsea fans, and I'm speaking on behalf of them, and I'm not speaking rather than for them, but I see a fact that they've not invested well enough.
Sorry to interrupt. Can I also just say, for the Chelsea fans, people like Louis, Sophie, and the rest of the Chelsea fans, I would like to share my sympathy with them because I understand how they feel, and
what do you mean? You understand how they feel?
I understand how frustrating they are.
How are you able to have sort of empathy with how they're feeling? When have you experienced this as a fan yourself?
I mean, like, whenever Man City lose a game, you know, we just, like, you know, accept what it is and, you know, just focus on the next game. You know, there are going to be games, you know, where we win, lose, or draw.
Yeah, I mean,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, but when I watch videos like Arsenal Fan TV, 100% Chelsea, and I saw how they felt, how they react, you know, I said to myself, you know, with defeats, I've got to feel sorry for the fans. But when it's victories, you know, I can see how happy they are, and I'm happy for them.
Oh, mate, that's really nice of you. Really do appreciate your call here at FanPark Live, mate. We'll speak to you again soon.
Thanks very much. Have a good day, my friend.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Cheers.
Cool. Another call straight through. What a lovely man he was. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name? Hello?
Yo.
Hello, what's your name, mate?
Tony.
Hello, Tony. You a Chelsea boy?
No, Man United boy.
Oh, okay. What was your thoughts on Chelsea's destruction this evening?
I love it, mate, to be honest.
Why do you love it so much?
I just like it when Chelsea flop.
Well, they did flop tonight. If you were a Chelsea fan, would you want Conte out of your football club?
Yeah, but I'm not a Chelsea fan.
I know, I'm asking if you were. It's a hypothetical question.
No, to be honest, I'd want them to keep him.
Why?
Because they're shit.
You want them to keep him so that they keep failing, basically.
Yeah, basically. Now, where Chelsea went wrong, yeah? They lost Lukaku to Man United.
Yep.
Then they lost Matic to Man United.
Yep.
And then Morata scored against us.
Right.
And since then, they're all shit.
Yeah, do you think Jose Mourinho's got into his head in the last few months as well?
Oh, no, because we're doing shit as well.
We're second in the league.
Yeah, but what, are we playing like Man United should be playing?
I'm very enthused with Man United this season. I've not bought into this indoctrinated negative mantra and rhetoric from the press that we should be playing any other way. We're playing Jose Mourinho's Manchester United way. I think we've scored more than 4 goals in a game around about 10 times this season. That's off the top of my head. You've seen improvements in lots of our young players. The way Sanchez performed the other day is an indication of the further steps forward that we're going to make. And actually, Man City have been phenomenal this year. That they have broke records. Their points total is something that's unprecedented, never been done before in top-flight football in England. If you compare Man United,
teams go there and they're scared.
Who's scared?
Teams go look at the Palace, flop the penny in the last minute.
When you go up against a juggernaut and a team so dangerous, I think sometimes there is a little bit of fear potentially. If you look at the last 10 games, though, there's very minimal difference in points between Man United, City, Liverpool, and and Spurs. So that great start that City had put them so far in front of everybody else. But things have levelled out. I think what you've got to also take into consideration and appreciation is after 25 or 26 games that we're playing now, Man United's points total now is within 2 to 3 points of some of the greatest Premier League champions of all time. You're talking Chelsea's 95 points haul, Man United's 99 team. So the point is
that means nothing this season because we're at the bottom teams. They're all on 21 points after how many games?
No, I get what you're. Sorry, I read some radio through. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but you've got to. And I'm just saying this to you because you've called up and brought this subject matter up. Focus. I always say to people, focus on your own team and what your own team's doing.
Man United, I'll focus on them. Right, if we still had Alex Ferguson, there's no way Sanchez would have been started. He would have come off the bench. Yeah or no?
I don't. No, I think he'd have started. Fergie bought ready-made. When Fergie bought ready-made players that were established, top of their game, he played them.
What, did Van Nistelrooy come straight into the team? Did Van Persie come straight into the team?
Van Persie only started on the bench in his first game because he was signed the day before.
I'm saying Sanchez, start him for the rest of the season. But when he first comes to the club, when he's the highest paid player in the Premier League, everyone's trying to break his legs. Fergie, he'll put him on the bench, let that die down. Next game, he'll come in and smash it.
No, not really. He doesn't. Fergie never did that. But anyway, listen, really appreciate your call. Lots of Chelsea fans want to come on, mate.
No, he did. What did he do with Van Persie, Van Nistelrooy?
Van Persie's first...
Google it on your phone like you try and do with the other people, make them look like idiots. Go and Google it.
I don't need to Google it. I remember what happened. I can explain it to you if you stop talking.
Yeah, but you know, Van Nistelrooy, he started on the bench. So did Van Persie.
So okay, Van Persie's first game he did, and then his second game he started. So
yeah.
You're saying that Sanchez should have... Hang on. So you're saying Sanchez should have started on the bench against Yeovil and then started the next two games?
No, he shouldn't have played against Yeovil. He should have started on the bench against Tottenham.
But that wouldn't have been his first game, would it? Good night. I have absolutely no idea what he started going on about. But look, what I'm saying to people, we spoke to Chelsea fans about it earlier. I always look at the progression or regression on season. We know Man City have gone well in front of everybody this year. They've now set a standard. Chelsea, Man United, Spurs and Liverpool need to go and catch that up. But some teams have improved this year, like Man United as well. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Isidore.
Hello, mate. How are you? What team do you support?
Well, I'm just calling regarding the 4-1 loss of the game that we just played against Watford.
Are you a Chelsea fan?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've asked a few people this. I'll go straight into it. Your manager, Conte, wins you the title last year. Abysmal performances at the moment. Have you got his back still? Do you still want him to be your manager?
Well, I'm going to have to be straightforward with you. I have Conte's back 100%. But the thing we have it with Chelsea is a lot of fans are very afraid to come up and stand up to say that Abramovich needs to do something. Either need to sell the team or he needs to find another way to deal with it.
No, I understand that. Have you been happy with the support that he's had from your board? Are you happy with the way your club's being run, top to bottom?
No, not at all. Not at all. In the past 4 years, I've not been happy at all. We've seen the same thing with Mourinho, then we've seen the same thing with Conte this time. So would where we going?
Would that suggest that it's not the manager's... I was talking to Chelsea fans about this the other day. Ranieri, yeah. Jose, Ancelotti, AVB. The same thing happens to every manager. So there comes a point where you think it's not the manager's fault.
Yeah, that's common sense. It's like one thing kept happening all the time. You keep blaming 5 or 6 managers for the same thing. Come on, man. Not everyone can be making the same mistake every day all over again. Somebody else got to be on fault in that moment. So Abramovich needs to do something about it.
No, he does.
And do something about it.
He definitely does. In terms of the performance from Bakayoko in the middle today, what was your views and opinions on him today? Poor on the ball, stupid red card. He really hasn't had a good start to his Chelsea life.
I don't know if I can swear from the phone on YouTube.
Yeah, you can say whatever you like, sir.
Excuse me for my language. That was a fucking useless performance I've seen in my life. We went from having people like Makelele, Asian, Lampard, Balak in the midfielder to Bakayoko. It's like you going from a Ferrari to a Ford Fiesta.
Savage. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's like you going from a Ferrari to a Ford Fiesta.
No, it is. Look, it's an interesting one because the Monaco squad was absolutely pillaged in the summer. The only remaining Lamar is still there, and Fabinho is still there.
Yeah.
Fabinho. I get confused with all their names. There's so many of them.
Yeah,
that's the one. But
yeah,
you never quite. They were a great unit, a great team. But I can't remember who it was, but someone that watches my channel, the Football Terrace, was talking about Bakayoko and basically said to me his first touch is a pass. And I focused on that for a while, and he was absolutely right. And he lacks composure. He lacks quality on the ball. He doesn't break down play particularly well. He looks lost in this Chelsea team. This
is the thing. I've been following the French leagues because I'm a big fan of Chelsea. I've been a Chelsea fan for over 20 years now. I've been going to Stamford Bridge for, 20 years, 15 years. I don't know. Pretty much all my life. I have never ever seen a midfielder like Bakayoko. The issue we have with Bakayoko is what I've seen him play for the French league team. The guy ain't got no balance. He loses focus all the time. Can you imagine? I'm not being rude to him, but can you imagine a player trying to, he had the pink Porsche. He was living close to a sea. He was having like a kind of Michael Jackson life. It's not really a footballer. He needs to go to fashion. He needs to go to, I don't know, he needs to do something else.
Mate, I understand where you're coming from. I really, really do. Look, really appreciate your call.
I don't know how to explain all this. I even tried to explain it to my brother. He's asking me, you're a true Chelsea fan. You keep saying you go to the stadium every weekend. How can you explain this to me? Imagine a Tottenham fan asking me to explain this to them.
No, mate, I really do get that.
I had nothing to say.
Mate, appreciate your call. Thank you.
Oh, no, it's my
Take care, brother. All the best.
Oh, bye.
Getting a few comments through from people saying that my laugh is fake. It's if you spend enough time with me, like face to face as a human, it's how I laugh. Oh, no one was there. I thought the call was coming through. By the way, whatever platform you're watching this on, whether it's That's Football, whether you're watching on the Football Terrace, 100% Chelsea, or the Ultimate Football Fan, please hit that like button for us. Hit that share button as well. Really important to the growth of the show and of the channels individually as well. And I think someone just told me my channel hit 50,000 subs while I've been on the air. Happy days, 50,000. Been a hard slog. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
What's going on, bro? It's Jason.
Hello, Jason.
Yeah, just calling in for the performance that I just watched. Chelsea lose. I'm a Chelsea fan myself.
Yeah, how are you feeling about the situation there right now?
Bro, I'm not going to lie. Just seeing Bakayoko play football makes me want to, like, throw my remote at my TV.
Does it not give you hope, though, that if you see Bakayoko playing football, bro, there's still the chance, though, that you might make it as a professional?
No. Before, I used to see Begovic in the starting lineup and not watch the match, knowing we're going to lose the match. And every time I see Bakayoko, he doesn't look like a footballer. He's lost in midfield.
Who scouted him and decided to pay £40 million for a man that can't pass, can't control, can't tackle? He's good at tweeting, but apart from that, I can't understand what he's brought. I mean, are you willing, though, to give him another season? Maybe it's moving to England, the Premier League?
Do you know what it is? It's like, if you win the title and then the next season you're serious, you don't sign people like Barkley, Drinkwater, Bakayoko, or people like... I don't think he's even... He just looked good in a squad with Monaco last season because they was on fire, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, Monaco last year, they was on fire. And he just looked really good because there was people like Mbappe, Fabinho, Lamar, Falcao was scoring loads of goals. But with Chelsea, it's like the generals are not there. He lost a general with Costa. We used to go to war with Costa. We played dirty football. We played mind games, trollish football. Costa used to do that. The rest of the team used to cover him and support. But when we lose Costa, and then you start in conflict with Luis, and like he's not buying the people he wants, and he's not as animated as he was last year. You see him on the touchlines, very quiet and stressed. You don't get the same vibe from a whole team, let alone the individuals, if you understand what I'm saying.
No, I get that. I mean, when you look back at the summer, when Bakayoko was signed, Matic went off to Manchester United, there were a lot of Chelsea fans that gloated at that decision. We've got Bakayoko, you're you're stuck with our rejects. Would you take Matic back now?
Bro, I don't even know who was in charge to let Matic go.
That's your board, mate. Because we all know at your football club, no manager since Abramovich has been there has had any control over who comes and goes.
Yeah, he's a bit ruthless, because if he's expecting trophies, he has to be. Well, then the people expect him to back his talk. So if he's being ruthless and like saying to the club, "You lot have to win, you lot have to do this," he has to slap like 100, 200 mil down to buy the players to cover the manager's beliefs and tactics and style of play. But he's not really doing that, and that is his fault and the board's fault with the transfer policies.
No, I totally get that. And do you think there's a big chance that he'll lose his job sometime in the next 24 hours?
I don't want that, man. I don't want the manager to get sacked, because like he's got a really high percentage win. I'm not sure if it was 67% or 69%, but he's got a really high percentage of winning games. So I could only imagine that with the people he really wants to play in the position and the style of play he wants.
But do you think he can turn this round? And I'm not talking about the recent run of results. That's doable. Can he get back to winning the volume of games that brought Chelsea the title? Can he do that with this squad? He doesn't look happy as well. You know, you look at him on the sidelines. He just looks like he doesn't care anymore.
But to be honest, it's like everyone has to back each other. Whether or not everyone's pissed off at each other or angry, like they have to remember it's the club. So we've got, is it Barcelona we've got in the Champions League?
Yes.
Yeah. So if he could pull, something out of his arse in that match, and we get some magical results, because we normally have fantastic matches, whether win or lose. Because I love football, whether we lose or not. I like to watch a football match, so we've always had good matches against Barcelona. If he could pull something out of his arse in them 2 matches there, I believe there might be a comeback. But if we go to them 2 matches there and we get deflated and we get pumped, then I could maybe see him leaving before the season ends. No,
really great points there. Really appreciate the call as well, mate, and we'll have you on again soon. Excellent words there. Cheers, mate. All the best.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, bruv. Some really good points coming in from people. We've probably got another 5 or 6 minutes left of this live stream. Fantastic numbers across the board tonight. We always appreciate your support as ever. Remember, you can download the OneFootball app. They are our title sponsors of FanPark Live. It's a free of charge app, an amazing place for all your news, stats, fixtures, results, and everything football related. Make sure you... Oh, we've got a Watford fan. Oh, this is good. I want to speak to a Watford fan. But a Watford fan. I hope they're a Watford fan. They're not trolling me. That'd be nice to speak to a Watford fan. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Hello?
Hello, mate. What's your name, brother?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's your name?
Yeah, I can hear you. My name's Jamal.
Jamal, and you're a Watford fan?
Yeah.
Mate, you must be over the moon with that performance tonight.
I know, it's unbelievable. These men are fucking shit. It's unbelievable.
I mean, look, Chelsea are a big focus here. We're out on the Chelsea channel, a lot of Chelsea fans ringing in. But we said at the top of this show that for as poor as Chelsea were in places, your boys tonight, Delafeo, Troy Deeney, Yamat in the right-back position, just to name a few, you were phenomenal.
I know, it's like... I'm shocked by the performance. Delafeo was unbelievable tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he signed on loan. He said quite openly that he's got a point to prove in the Premier League. He didn't feel that it went the right way for him when he was at Everton. And what a way to really introduce yourself to the Watford faithful. And what are some of your goals tonight? I mean, you were scoring goals that Barcelona would be proud of.
It's just unbelievable. It's actually like, I'm actually in shock right now. It's unbelievable.
Before this game kicked off, what were you hoping for as a result? What did you think was realistic for your boys tonight?
I actually thought we'd win because they got packed by Bournemouth the other week, and I just thought we had a chance.
Yeah, well, they absolutely did. And Marco Silva starts off brilliantly, loses his job after I think mistreating your club, really, the way he was trying to leave under a cloud and take players with him.
Yeah, I know. It was sad that he had to go, but it was like it's for the better right now.
Absolutely. And do you think this squad now, this group of players with your new manager, can push themselves back onto the early form that you demonstrated at the beginning of the campaign?
I know. If we can get back to that type of form, we might push for a top 10 finish.
No, I agree with you. I think you can. You're better. You're not a relegation team for me. I know you fell down that way because of the problems with Silva, but yeah, you've got a really good squad of players, lots of great technical individuals as well. And I think when you've got a man like Troy Deeney as well leading you, you know, not the best technical football player in the world, but you know what? He's got that heart, that soul. He's got that, as he put it, that pair of cojones to grab the team up and drive them forward. And, you know, they were all sensational tonight, mate. So absolutely massive well done to you.
Yeah, cheers.
Lovely, bruv. Take care.
Cheers, take care.
And we want more of that on FanPark Live. You know, as much as United and Arsenal and Chelsea, these fans dominate the airwaves. If you support one of the teams that they're up against, we want to hear from you. We want your views and opinions. Just come on and tell us how happy you are after these types of victories, because they don't come around that often. Although Watford this year have beaten, in the last couple of years, you know, they've beaten Man United at home, Arsenal, now Chelsea. Some decent results for those fans. It really, really is. Going to do some of the comments coming through on YouTube. The players are not playing for Conte. Jose got into his head, is what Mod Stoney TV believes. Terry, give us a wave. So I do a Dele Alli wave. I'm not going to do anything else that Dele Alli does on camera. Have you seen that? Does everyone think that's real? The Dele Alli Snapchat video with a young lady. What do you reckon, Jay? Do you think that's real? Well, yeah, I think it looks pretty real, but I want your opinions. But yeah, Dele Alli wave. He kind of waves. He waves really weird, doesn't he? He's like that. Anyway, Terry, keep drinking the smart water. You need it. Are you saying I'm not smart? That's offensive. Hurt my feelings. You don't hurt my feelings. I've got like the thickest skin. We can do that for the last few minutes if you want. If anybody wants to send me in their best insults, I'll see which ones make me laugh the most. All about me. They can be as nice or as horrible as you want. City's owners are the same ones who... Oh, no, I'm not reading that comment out. Terry, I'm a Chelsea plastic fan and I want Roman out. That's for somebody that's got the title name Robert Mugabe. Well, he ain't very busy anymore, Mugabe, is he? So maybe it is him commenting. Dele Alli getting... Oh, no, I'm not reading that out either. I did answer your question, you... Oh, you're all swearing. Calm down. Your laugh is effing atrocious. See, I can't just... That big laugh I do, you actually have to tickle me. Either physically or with something with some real comedic value for me to burst out laughing like that. But there we go. Me? I've been told to check WhatsApp. My phone isn't on the screen, is it? Because last time my phone got put up on the screen, DT needed a new phone number. What are we saying on here? Conte getting sacked in the morning. Ah, there we go. That's a massive poll. So on the Ultimate Football Fan Instagram page, we have a poll running right now asking whether Conte is going to be sacked in the morning. You can see it there. 85% of the voters have said yes. That is a landslide. Go check that out on the Ultimate Football Fan Instagram page. Yeah, I'm a bit old. I get a little confused sometimes with the different social media platforms that can be used. Too many. Terry loves sweet corn. Hang on, here's one. Terry, you're effing receding. Take me back to when Liverpool won a trophy. My hair's not receding. I've always had a big forehead. Terry, Watford also beat Liverpool. That's true. Lee Davis says 50k subscribers. Well done. We're getting there. We're getting there. We need to. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already, wherever you're watching, go to the Ultimate Football Fan YouTube page and make sure you're subscribing to that channel as well. It's very important for us to go and do that. And obviously, That's Football. Everyone watching on Mark Goldbridge's That's Football channel, thank you very much for tuning in. Want to try and do some more streams with you guys. Always very interactive. Always great comments from you all over there as well. And steady numbers as well from all you guys. They're all talking about Man City on there. Man City have now started to dominate this conversation. I'm only going to read stuff out that's relevant. Don't let Chelsea drop out of the top 4. They will win the league next year. Trust. He's got somebody who calls himself Lionel Messi. Why do people have, like, names on YouTube and call themselves, like, famous people? Put your real name on there. That's better. Bakayoko or Fellaini. That's from AFAF. No, I don't want any more calls. We're pretty much done now. So I'm talking to the man in my ear. There's not a little man in my ear. There's earphones that speak to me through a human being in that room. Have you got Minion Cam set up? We'll show you, Jay. We'll put Minion Cam on. You can see where he is and what he does. And then I'm going to answer your question. Are you on? He's not on. He's getting shy. Come on, Jay. Put yourself on Minion Cam. I don't know if he's going to do it or not.
Yeah, I'm switching back now.
Oh, he's going to switch back. There we go. Bakayoko or Fellaini? Fellaini all day long. Fellaini's not the best football player in the world. We all know that. But he's better than Bakayoko. He really, really is. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you as ever for tuning in. Please make sure you download the One Football app. It means the absolute world to us if you can do that. The information is in the description below. I'm now going to go. I've got a long drive home. Absolutely cream crackered. But what a wonderful game of football. Maybe not for Chelsea fans. I know you're all going to be a little bit angry. But for the rest of the footballing fraternity, it was amazing. Everybody take care. God bless. We'll see you all again very soon. The next time we're back is for the North London Derby. That is going to be amazing. I can't wait. I'm buzzing. I'm going to have previews out this week. Check out all the numerous Tottenham channels. All the Arsenal channels as well are going to be absolutely full of the previews this week. It's going to be... It's not just a massive football event. It's a massive social media event as well. Cannot wait for it. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your evenings. Be lucky. Be safe. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon.